I gotta make it quick. For everybody out there that supported me and really knows what's going on, thank you all. I've been going through a custody battle. I've been going through having my ex-wife say I molested my children and all kinds of craziness. Been fighting for custody for 3 years. So, shit has been real crazy. What's up, Oliver? You know about this. Going through it with my ex-wife, blah, blah, blah. So, start dating somebody new, and she got pregnant, and we got in a fight. First thing she does is threatening that she's going to do the same thing. You're never going to see your kids, blah, blah, blah. It's the holidays, man. I don't have no family, nothing. Anyway, I just did something crazy, man. I just shot my ex-girlfriend in the head, yo. Felt like a dream. Like, I never thought I would be that guy. I can't go to prison, so the person that really started my depression and all of this is my ex-wife. So she next, and then I'm going to do myself too. But I just wanted to say this to people. Don't play with people's emotions, man. Don't lie on these men. Oh, here's my ex-wife right here. Today's the day.
Another top story for us tonight. 3 people are dead in multiple shootings. The first happening in Baltimore, and then the same suspect headed over to Howard County before killing another person and then himself. That's where we find Stetson Miller. Stetson, what can you tell us?
Hey there, Max. Yeah, we could see police investigating in Federal Hill throughout the evening. And they say that the suspect made a post on social media about these homicides after he killed one woman and then killed another and himself.
Police say a man killed his girlfriend and ex-wife on Saturday afternoon in both Baltimore and Columbia before turning the gun on himself and committing suicide.
I thought that I would be doing this, but I gotta make it quick.
Shalom. I want to start this off by giving honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Yahweh Kakwadash. Peace and salutations to the elect men of Israel, starting with the other apostles and the bishops of GMS on down, to the rest of you brothers and the brothers I labor with, who all push forth the will and the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, in all faith, truth, and sincerity, according to the true understanding of the scriptures. To all of you, I say Shalom. Man, it's crazy to see, but it's the times we coming in. The world's growing weaker through age, but this is a prime example of why our people need the Lord. Our people need the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, right? And to cleave onto them, to use them, right? The things that were written aforetime are written for our learning, and it's written to keep us in good standing, right? To keep us safe, secure, to keep us within the strength of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You fearing the Lord and having faith in Him, right? That's how you put yourself in position to keep your life, to keep your soul, right? But with me saying that, I'm gonna grab a few scriptures just to tie this point home, right? Because these women, they out of here, But the scriptures talk about the type of things that's going to be going on, right? So I'm gonna start here with this. This is Proverbs 31 and verse 3. It says, "Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings." Right? So simultaneously, this is telling you this is one of the ways that destroys kings, right? Give your strength to women, And real quick, I just want to go into that word strength, see what it says. Right, okay. So it says your might, your efficiency, your wealth, right? Your ability, right? Your power, your might, your substance, your riches, right? your company. It's like how the scriptures say, and I believe it's 1 Corinthians 3:12, where it goes on to say, all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful, but I shall not be brought under the power of any. And that's key, because you don't want to be brought under the power of anything other than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? If anything takes you away from giving your all to the Most High, right? And operating in such a way, in such a manner, it's gonna destroy you. And the scriptures say through Solomon going on to say, I find more better than death a woman. He ain't say that for no reason, right? Solomon was the wisest and richest man to have ever lived, right? And the way that he felt was ultimately giving his strength to a woman in a way, in a sense, right? Because he was dealing with them so much to where he started going in the ways that they would in regards to their gods and the things that they did, right? He allowed those things to take him away from the Lord, So he's speaking from experience, right? The Lord allowed him to be able to receive that wisdom, to be able to give to us. That way we can have, ourselves in a proper position, That I want to get that word substance, because that's good too. Yeah. You got the third one and the fifth one. They seem to be the ones that make the most sense, right? Power, soundness, validity, right? Your foundation. You don't want to make anything your foundation other than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Your character, your backbone, strength of character, right? And then even the sixth one too. Wealth, fortune, riches, right? Prosperity, right? Resources, assets, possessions, everything that you have, right? The scripture say in Colossians 3. It says Colossians 3:23, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord and not unto men, right? And then the NLT says, work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people, So everything that you're doing, you want to be doing it in a way to where it's in a way that pleases the Lord, And that takes thought, that takes careful consideration, it takes time, right? In regards to being with your own thoughts, with no distractions, right? That way it's just you and the Lord. You're giving yourself time to deal with just you and the Lord, right? Having a peace of mind, But you got here in Isaiah 3:12, it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. All right, that's the state of our people. That's exactly what you see in that video. Jake allowed, he gave so much of himself to his ex-wife and his girlfriend, to where they had the means to be able to plague his mind, It plagued his mind so much to the point to where he went on to do the shit he did, Yeah. that ain't to say what he did may or may not have been necessarily just according to the Lord, according to the scriptures. But in this world, due to us being in captivity, you allow the Lord to avenge yourself, to avenge you. You stay true to him. You don't go out of your way to try to seek your own vengeance. You give it to the Lord to do. And with you doing that, the Lord, he going to take care of it righteously so in such a way that's going to benefit and bless you. But I'm going to grab this as well. This is Sirach 25. I'm going to start at 12. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love. You see? And that's what we got to work on, continuing to fear the Lord correctly, right? Giving reverence, giving time, giving place, right? Giving priority to the Lord, It says, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him, Believing, though you may not necessarily physically see it, but believing and wholeheartedly knowing it's going to be given, even if you don't see it in the moment. And the more you start dealing with the Lord, the more he start making things happen to where he able to show you and prove to you he make things happen, But everything is done in a timely manner, There's a season, time to every purpose, right? We go through the trials and the things that we go through to make us stronger. So in a moment, struggling, it may be hard, just like it say in Hebrews 12, Though in a moment it's not joyous, but it's grievous, Yet that peaceable fruit come after the chastisement, the being put in the process to build discipline, And the way that we do that is through his words, through his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, right? Talking and communing with the men that he has set up to have that spirit, to be able to teach, to be able to help, keep you in good standing, That's the beauty and importance of the body of Yahweh Shemel Shai, But it says, verse 13, that's the point. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, right? The plague of the mind. It says, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And that's key, This is key. Because the scriptures also say what? Sirach 19:2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become imputed. You see? We liken unto the Lord's woman, So we have a job and a duty in regards to staying faithful to our head, right? To our Lord, So we can't allow certain distractions to take us away from our purpose, And with us doing so in the right way, that teaches us in regards to what to really look for in a wife, in a woman, right? If she not about you and making you her purpose, she not the right one, But these are things that you are able to learn to pick up on through the Lord, through his word, through the men he has set up to have his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, being a part of those counsels, those conversations, right? Being able to receive that advice and actually retain it, hold on to it, use it, utilize it. That's the beauty of his word, right? That's why it's key to see, and you see within the scriptures, it's key to pay attention to the what's the word I'm looking for? The one thing that's consistent when the scriptures are talking about women, it's in a way of being cautious. That's how you know this book is for men, right? Proverbs 8:4 goes on to say that, right? To you men I call. This book is for men, because us men are the heads of the house. Your woman, she learned from you, you know? So this whole world in this system has everything out of order, and that's why the women are the way that they are. That's why everything is out of course, and that's exactly why, again, why we need the Lord. Why we need the Lord to come back, right? Wreck shop and make things right. Put things back in order, because the way things are set up, it is not, and that's why you have situations like this, like what you see in this video. So that's pretty much it. You know, that's the point. I'll bring it out again real quick. Proverbs 31:3. It says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. And in the G&T, it says it like this right here, right? It says, don't spend all your energy on sex and all your money on women. They have destroyed kings. You see? Spend that time with yourself, building yourself, focusing on yourself, focusing on your how about you shy, following his lead, being about his purpose, right? Giving yourself to him and looking to do what pleases him first and foremost, because he is our head, right? So, all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Call him Allah Yahweh Shemel Shai, Wahakak Wadash. Till next time, so long.